Yeah. Components. Terms. Check. The air handler. A unit that connects the return air and air supply of a refrigeration system to facilitate air movement within the structure. Air handler. Bimetal limit. Made of two metals with different temperatures, coefficients that open or close contact with the increased and the decreased in the temperature. That's a bimetal limit. Condenser fan. Used to reject the heat from the outside coil of a split system. Condenser fan. Condenser unit of the refrigeration system that is used to reject the heat from the system that has three jobs: de-superheat, condense, and subcool. That's the condenser unit. Contactor. A device that uses an electromagnetic coil when energized to open and close a set of contacts to energize major loads within an HVAC system, pulling more than 20 amps with no overload protection. Contactor. Control relay. A 24-volt relay that is used to provide control voltage in a high-voltage contactor when the amp draw becomes so large that the contactor and its safeties must be located in the load inside. It also often controls the crankcase heater circuit. That's a control relay. Crankcase heater. An electrically powered internal or external heat source used to raise the temperature of the oil in the compressor to stop oil migration. That is a crankcase heater. To the beach, y'all. To the beach, y'all. Package unit that has both evaporator and condenser housed in one compartment is delivered as a complete assembly. A package unit. Recovery machine. Recovery machine is a device that is used to remove refrigerant from a refrigeration system and can be used to pump refrigerant into a pressurized holding tank to stop loss of refrigerant into the atmosphere. That's a recovery machine. Reversing valve. Used to change the direction of flow refrigerant in a heat pump. Reversing valve. To a rollout switch. A rollout switch, manually resetting limit switch designed to shut down a gas appliance when the flame leaves the combination area. It's temperature sensitive. That's a rollout switch. Run capacitor. A run capacitor is a device that collects and discharges electrons in a single-phase motor during the entire run cycle that is often made of metal or thermoplastic filled with oil to dissipate heat that builds up. That's a run capacitor. Semi-hermetic. It's a compressor motor contained with a cast with no penetration by a rotating shaft and with gasket covered plates for access to key parts such as valves and connecting rods. That's semi-hermetic. Check it. Sequencer. A 24-volt control device that is often called a heat motor that opens and closes a set of contacts that energize heat strips by opening and closing contacts in a staggering order. It keeps from having large amp draw or recall on the call of heat. So that way your circuit breaker won't be in defeat. That's a sequencer. Check it. Split system. When the condenser and evaporator coil of each system or house are located apart from each other. The only physical connection being the suction and the liquid lines. That's a split system. Check. Yo, standing pilot. Source of heat or ignition for the main burner on a standing efficiency furnace that keeps a light flame at all times. Proven by the use of a thermocouple, that is a standing pilot. Check. Yo, start capacitor. It's designed to stay in a circuit only briefly to add starting torque to a single phase motor. That's a start capacitor. Starting relay. A device used to remove the starting windings from a single phase motor once it has achieved 75% of its full running speed. That's a starting relay. Thermal expansion valve. Thermal expansion valve, metering device that is designed to modulate and maintain 8 to 12 degrees of superheat by sensing heat from the suction line of a refrigeration system. That's a thermal expansion valve. Check it. Thermocouple. A thermocouple is a junction between two different metals that produces a voltage related to the temperature difference. That's a thermocouple. Transformer. A transformer is a special load tied directly into the primary line. Voltage that step voltage up or down for control voltage. That's a transformer. Check it. Vacuum pump. A vacuum pump is a machine used to remove moisture and non-condensables from a system where the refrigeration has been removed already, and a process called evacuation. So that's making up a vacuum pump. Check it out, yo. Integrated circuit board. Integrated circuit board. Check it. Integrated circuit board. A printed circuit board that has microprocessors on it that controls the lighting sequence for a gas furnace. Integrated circuit board. Check it. Line voltage thermostat. Line voltage thermostat. A primary or line voltage temperature switch that senses increase or decrease in temperature, opens or closes on or more electrical switching elements in a predetermined set point. That's some line voltage thermostat. Line voltage thermostat. Okay, check. Liquid line solenoid. Liquid line solenoid. A solenoid located on the liquid line of a refrigeration system that is controlled by a line voltage T-stat to control the flow of refrigerant to a measuring device. Close off the solenoid cause automatic pump down to a current. That's a liquid line solenoid. A liquid line solenoid. Check it. Low voltage thermostat. Low voltage thermostat. A low voltage temperature switch that senses increase or decrease in the temperature. Opens or closes one or more electrical switching elements to a predetermined set point. That's a low voltage thermostat. A low voltage thermostat. A low pressure switch, normally open switch, held closed when pressure is presented and open with pressure is not present. That's a low pressure switch. Wait, a low pressure switch. Wait, okay, look. Magnetic motor starter. Magnetic motor starter. A contactor with the built-in overload protection. That's a magnetic motor starter. A magnetic motor starter. Okay, now metering device. Metering device. Refrigeration component that causes pressure to drop and control the flow of refrigerant to an evaporator. That's a metering device. That's a metering device. Overload. Overload. A device that opens when excess current draw is sensed to protect conductor and loads from damage. That's an overload. Now we here to the heat pump. Check it out, check it out. Let the beat thump. Yeah, check it out. It's the heat pump. A refrigeration machine that employs a four-way valve to reverse the flow of refrigerant from a normal direction so that the heat from outside the structure can be used to provide heat to the inside. That's a heat pump. Check. Helical fan switch. Helical fan switch is a safety device on a furnace that uses a helical bimetal strip to close the fan switch on a rise in temperature and open the limit if an overheat situation occurs. That's a helical hand switch. Wait, helical fan switch, not a hand switch. Okay, let me turn back. Check it. Hermetic compressor. Y'all, check it. Hermetic compressor is a compressor motor assembly contained in welding steel case Typically used in household refrigerators, residential air conditioners, small commercial air conditioning, and refrigeration units. That's a hermetic compressor. Check it, a hermetic compressor. High pressure switch. High pressure switch, it goes like this. An automatic pressure switch senses when the pressure level is too high. It can respond without the need of inhuman aid. That's a high pressure switch. Hot surface uniter. Hot surface igniter. Okay, that's better. Hot surface igniter is found on most modern furnaces to light the gas flame upon start of the unit startup. Okay, check it. Electricity passes through the silicon carbide or the newer silicon nitride igniter, and it makes it glow red hot. See what you got. When you got an indoor fan, an indoor fan is a motor that pulls and returns air and forces out supply air. And a residential split system, that's an indoor fan. But an indoor fan relay is when energized, causes the indoor fan to run at high speed, and at de-energized, it runs at low speed. That's an indoor fan relay. Now an inducer fan motor is a fan that removes combustion by byproducts and provide purging for the gas furnace and appliances. Inducer fan motor. Check it. And we back, check it. Yo, defrost timer is a device that's used to control the removal of ice from an evaporator by turning on electric heat strips or hot gas bypass. Check it. That's a defrost timer. Yeah, that's a defrost timer. Look at evaporator is a refrigeration coil that boils low pressure refrigerant, absorbs heat from the return air going across the coil, dehumidifies, and adds superheat to the refrigerant in its evaporator phase. That is an evaporator. Check it. Flame rod. Flame rod. Hey yo, flame rod is a sensor rod that is supplied with AC voltage. When heated by a flame, it's called to transmit a DC voltage and create flame rectification or proves the flame exists. That's a flame rod. Check it. Float switch. Float switch is a switch used to monitor levels of liquid in a process. Float switch. Okay, check. Flow, flag, switch. Flow, flag, switch. A limit switch that is designed to measure or detect the movement of air or refrigerant in a duct line. That's a flow, flag, switch. Flow, flag, switch. Flue pipe. A flue pipe that is used to exhaust the byproducts of a gas combustion furnace. Flue pipe. Check it. Gas valve. A gas valve that uses a 24-volt coil to open and close it. Solenoids to control the flow of fuel to a fossil fuel furnace. That's a gas valve. I'm gonna read that again just to make sure that I got it, my friend. Look at, that's a gas valve that uses 24-volt coil to open and close it. Solenoids to control the flow of fuel of a fossil fuel furnace. That's a gas valve. Heat exchanger. The heat exchanger is a device that passes heat from one substance to another without the two substances touching or mixing with each other. Example? Okay. When steam is used to heat cold water. That's a heat exchanger. Heat exchanger. Check. Induced fan motor. An induced fan motor is a fan that removes combustion byproducts and provide purging for gas furnaces and appliances. Induced fan motor.